Mario Party. When you play Mario Party, you're either on top of the world or rock bottom. There's no in between. These games just bring out the absolute worst in people. Everyone is a scumbag in this game. Even your best friends will screw you over as long as they get to win. Which, honestly, has a weird kind of charm to it. I love Mario Party. It's definitely one of my top picks to play with my group of friends. Mario Party 4, 7, and recently Superstars. We love this series. We know the ins and outs and we take it pretty fucking serious. And we're definitely not alone on that. It's a series that almost everyone has played, even if it was just once at a friend's house. Nintendo has made this series giant. They've made so much fucking money off it. So what happens when other developers try to take the formula? Well, it's usually shit. I mean, yeah, it's shit. But while looking around, I found a Mario Party clone of one of my favorite pieces of media of all time, One Piece. One Piece is a show I really love. If you know what the series is about, you may have seen a couple of references I've made to it in my videos. It's even my profile picture. So combining two of my favorite things, Mario Party and One Piece, must make for one of the fucking dopest games of all time. Fuck. One Piece Pirates Carnival. So you might be asking why the fuck I decided to cover this game over literally any other game I could have done next. And I'm even kinda wondering that while writing this script. I mean, there's even been some popular videos on YouTube sort of covering the game, or at least mentioning the fact that it exists. But none of them covered this game to the degree I wanted to see it. So I dug and dug for more info on the game. I found out it only sold 3,800 copies in Japan, which fucking blew my mind. That is one of the lowest sales I've ever seen, especially for such a big IP like One Piece. So, I decided to play the game so you don't have to. But you can't really experience a game like Mario Party without playing it with friends. Friends make Mario Party what it is. So I somehow convinced 3 of my friends to sit down and play this obscure GameCube game that was rated 49 on Metacritic.
Man, this game sucks.
Immediately when booting up the game, I noticed that the game has the infamous One Piece 4 Kids voices. Which even though is bad, you can't fault that on the game. The game predates the dub we know today, so what were they really gonna do? What I can fault on the game though, is that the game came out in 2006. This is how many Mario Parties were out in 2006. Dungeon Duos came out 4 years before this game. So already this game has a lot to live up to if it wants to be a true competitor to Mario Party. Does it live up to it? No, of course not. But I would be lying if I said I wasn't having fun while playing the game. Let me quickly explain how this game works. Instead of the normal board you'd expect in Mario Party, rolling a dice and progressing through a map, you're greeted with this tile set, and players will take turns picking the tiles, for those tiles to have some kind of effect in return. Usually it will take you into a minigame, and you get to pick which minigame most of the time, which is a nice touch, and whoever wins that minigame claims that tile. Claiming a tile gives you money, and the person with the most money at the end of the game wins. It's honestly kind of a fun twist from the normal Mario Party formula. I personally didn't mind it. It gets more interesting though. Sometimes a person will draw a tile that has a captain game, which is essentially a 1v3 boss fight, but only one person can win, even the team with 3 people. Whoever wins gets 2 tiles on the board, so it's fucking massive if you win. There's also these event cards, which sometimes do some special crap, but the main thing is that you get to claim the tile without even having to win or play a minigame. And if the game feels like it will just screw someone over to screw someone over.
Yeah, we don't need to see that.
Oh,
Wait,
who's who? Oh, no!
Someone.
It better be the winner, bro.
Oh.
What the heck?
And then it just moves on like nothing happened. It's crazy.
That's pretty much the general idea of the board section. There's some lucky ass pulls from the tiles you can get that pretty much just bring you to first, which sucks for everyone else, but I mean, that's just Mario Party shit. Deal with it, man. But I know you've been waiting for me to talk about the minigames. A Mario Party can have the best boards, but if it has ass minigames, it fails as a Mario Party. So how do Pirates Carnival's minigames hold up? Yeah, most of them are shit. A bunch of them are just weighted, one-sided bullshit. And yes, Mario Party is usually bullshit, but unless the minigame itself is supposed to be luck-based, if it's unfair, then it's a shit minigame. I'm sorry. Minigames are the one part of Mario Party that is in your control, so it's important for them to be fair. But don't get me wrong, There were some minigames that were genuinely enjoyable in Pirates Carnival. It's just that most of them were like so unfair or just not fun. Like this fucking stilts minigame. This minigame stood out to not just me, but literally all of us, as like astronomically bad. We all played it and not one of us could tell you any form of strategy for this game. But again, not all of them were bad. Like this one, where you fall from the sky and race to land on the Going Merry. We all loved this minigame win or lose. It was just a good minigame. It's a game of chicken, but also a race. You fall from the sky, and inflating your balloon lowers your speed, so you want to make sure not to inflate much. But at the same time, if you're going too fast when you land on the ship, you'll just die. So you need to know the exact right time to open the balloon to both live the fall and beat your friends in the race. That's an example of a minigame with like actual layers to it and strategy. A perfect example of what makes a Mario Party minigame good. Sure, it isn't any dungeon duos, but it was unexpectedly good. For what it was, actual props for that minigame. The last thing to really cover gameplay wise is the game's version of bonus stars. Bonus stars can completely flip who wins the game in the last second, so they are always something to keep in mind when playing the actual game. That being said, that means you need good bonus stars to give out. Pirates Carnivals make sense for the game, honestly not too much to criticize about it. It is interesting though. They don't give out just 3 like in Mario Party. They give out 7 bonus stars. It can completely flip the game. One of them is actually for like losing the most mini games, which is pretty amusing. And I'd normally critique that, but considering there's 6 other bonuses, it's unlikely you'd win from just getting that. So it's just a fun one. And that's pretty much it for the actual gameplay. And honestly, not bad. I can see why Metacritic gave it a 48 instead of a 12. But does it compare to Mario Party? No. No, it does not. Just play Mario Party. To be honest, I wanted this game to be more. Like, I was expecting it to be bad going into it, but I was hoping to find like a secret gem. And well, it isn't that. It's not really good, even for its time considering there were 7 Mario Parties already out. It kind of is just a cash grab meant for people who like One Piece, which means it kind of worked on me. But I do think if you love One Piece as much as I do, and have a friend group who enjoys the series, there's definitely fun to be had here. I mean, I 100% had fun playing this. I did enjoy it. Looking at it critically though, it just isn't it. It's definitely carried by the theming. If this wasn't a One Piece game, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it. So, after we finished our games, I did a little more research on the game to see if I missed anything. Whether it be unlockables or modes, I was just curious. And the answer to that is yes, kinda. But only in the Japanese version of the game. There is so much Japan exclusive content in this game, and it's insane. I definitely would have liked this game more if the English version got these features. There's extra maps, minigames, and even modes. They do have reason to be removed though. It was to prevent spoilers, since the anime in Japan was way ahead of the anime in the States. Some of this shit was so cool though. They had a full-on One Piece quiz game with a pool of 700 fucking questions to answer. You can compete with your friends and answer 25 random questions, and the person who gets the most right wins. They could have totally brought this over but just removed the spoiler questions, but they just axed the entire mode altogether. I would have fucking kicked ass at One Piece Quiz King. It's crazy though that even though Japan had all these cool features, it still sold like ass. But it makes sense there isn't a huge fan base for a possible One Piece Mario Party. When you think of what kind of One Piece game would be amazing, Mario Party wouldn't have been my first pick either. So it's kind of interesting that this game exists to begin with. If you don't like One Piece and still listen to me ramble about this forgotten Mario Party clone, I appreciate it. It honestly means a lot. And a huge shout out and thank you to my friends for playing this shitty game with me. As much as I praised it in this video, I cannot call this game good. A 49 is a fair rating, and probably the rating I'd give 2. Friends make these party games enjoyable though. I had fun playing it, and it was fun learning about this game. But this game is stupid as fuck. I mean, the developers couldn't even be bothered to make original box art for the game. What kind of game doesn't have its own box art?